A Stirring Moment Just Before the Break of Day by S.C. Turnbo. No doubt there will be Civil War incidents that have never been written and will never be printed and will be entirely lost. Though many of them may be small affairs, yet they are worthy of a place in history and ought to be preserved. The following account was furnished me by Mr. Levi Sully. During the close of the scenes of the Civil War, he said, an old vacant house stood near the base of Washington Bald Hill and some 3 miles northwest of Ludi, Missouri. This cabin was on what was then known as the Sam Merritt place. Now one night, near the time of the peace was declared between the contending forces of the North and South, 4 or 5 men who had been soldiers in the Federal Army and who were passing through the country stopped at this building to pass the night. 2 or 3 of the men had their wives and children with them, and they all stayed in the house together. On the following morning, a short time before the break of day, the party were unexpectedly attacked by 15 mounted men who were Federal soldiers and who had been on a scouting expedition and were on their return back. The soldiers supposed that those in the house were Confederates, and they began to shoot at an opening or a crack in the house. Through this space they observed a light in the house which they were convinced that was caused by a fire in the fireplace. Several shots were fired at this crack, some of which passed through an open space into the building. The men on the inside of the house promptly returned fire. There was a commotion in the house, and the women screamed, the children cried, and the men cursed, for they thought the outsiders were Confederates. Directly, the soldiers ordered the men in the house to come out and surrender, which they refused to do. Not only they thought they were Confederates, but the worst type of bushwhackers or guerrillas, and they did not propose to surrender to them. If they knew they were regular Confederates, no doubt they would have surrendered, but it was cheaper to fight until they died than to surrender and be put to death afterward like a lot of fattening hogs. The outside men now says, "We will burn you out if you do not give up your arms." On the inside party replied, "Burn the house if you want to. We will fight you by the light of the fire." Then the outside party continued, "Who are you fellows?" "We are Federal soldiers," the spokesman answered. "Good. We are all of the same stripes," said one of the insiders. "There is no need for us fighting." And an explanation followed, and peace was made between the 2 parties at once. Now not one in the house was touched, and how the women and children as well as the men escaped from the bullets is a wonder. Now one of the soldiers on the outside was slightly wounded in the hand.